particular pre-examination workshop is for the first session of the schedule that was displayed. And without much ado, I would like to introduce our presenter for this session. Is no any other than our chairman for membership committee. Is in the person of Engineer Dr. Patrick Amoabekwin. Engineer Dr. Patrick Amoabekwin is a fellow of the institution, is a civil engineer by profession, is a council member. He works with the Department of Federal Rules. I'm sure he'll be giving more details on what he does as soon as he takes over from me. And so at this juncture, I think that I would give him the space to begin his presentation. So thank you very much for your attention. Please, let's try and keep our devices on mute whilst the presentation is being conducted. If you have any questions after the presentation, we'll give you the opportunity to either unmute yourself and ask your question, or you can do that through the chat box as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Aisha, and good evening to you all. Let me switch to the presentation mode. And maybe one of you confirm if you can see the screen in the presentation mode.
Yes, please.
Yes,
All
please.
right, thank you, President. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a couple of slides as a way of first introducing you to our institution. This is more of part of our examination process. We call it this pre-examination workshop. Madam Aisha has already introduced me, so I don't need to repeat that. But so we will go through that process. Then I'll delve into the examination, what is expected. So for those of you who may have very good knowledge about the institution, maybe the first section will be a little boring, but just this is more for education purpose. So the next slide is my contact. Maybe after the presentation, if you want to contact me, you can do so. In terms of the outline of the presentation, I've talked about it. So we'll talk about the objective of the workshop, give you some general information about our institution. How do you become a member? So we'll talk about the route to membership. Then I'll go into the application processes, and then the examination itself. And then finally, we'll talk about the results and the induction. So what is the objective of this workshop? Mainly to prepare candidates to understand the requirement for the professional examination, and also educate you on the procedure during and after the examination. As I said, as a way of introduction, just some general information about our institution. So the name of our institution is the Ghana Institution of Engineering. Sometimes people make a mistake and call it Ghana Institute of Engineers or Institution of Engineers. It's Ghana Institution of Engineering. And it connotes it's engineering practice. I mean, previously we were engineers, mainly focusing on professional engineers, those with a bachelor in engineering degree or equivalent. But now we are dealing with all engineering professionals. So that has caused a change since 2017. So we have a constitution that is what we use as an institution, and I will just take you through some few aspects of our constitution. Generally, the constitution in Article 1 defines the institution, and we generally have branches. And when we say branches, we are looking at geographical location. We also have different classes of members, and we also have occupational groups. I'll go into the details of those in a few minutes. Then we also deal with engineering service providers. So firms and others, we register them. So it's not only engineering practitioners or individuals, but also engineering service providers. Generally, we have two main, let me say, categories of members. We have those who are called full members, and then those who are not. Now, when you are a full member of our institution, then you are either a fellow, you're a senior member, or a member of the occupational groups. Now, so because I've started talking about occupational groups, let me quickly jump and talk about the occupational groups. So we have four main occupational groups that we deal with. We have the engineering practitioners. We have or what we call the professional engineers. We have the professional engineering technologists. We have the professional or the engineering technicians, and then we have the engineering craftsmen. So those four occupational groups are the engineering practitioners that we as an institution register in terms of practitioners. As I said, we deal with firms, and we deal with even within the firms, we deal with consulting, we deal with manufacturers and different categories. And also we deal with educational institutions. Now, going to back to the occupational groups, or irrespective of the way, we also have what we call the technical divisions. So normally you think of the technical divisions as the engineering discipline that we belong to. So we have now four main technical divisions. So the civil technical division, electrical, electronic technical division, mechanical, Greek marine technical division, and the chemical mining technical division. That is not to say that we do not recognize others. The others normally fall within the four, and the Constitution allows us that as the numbers increase, other technical divisions will be formed. As a matter of fact, the petroleum engineers are also trying to form a technical division, and the biomedical engineers are also trying to form a technical division. Then you hear the word council. When we hear council, is the council of the institution. Let me say, in the absence of the AGM, they are the highest decision bodies. Those are the elected officials and the executive director. I'll talk about it. And as I said, there are various classes of members. So why do we exist? And Article 3.1 talks about the objective of our institution, mainly to promote and advance the science and practice of engineering to the benefits of society in Ghana and Africa and globally. And we have 5 main functions: registration and regulations, maintenance of professional standard, promotion of welfare, civic service or responsibility, then the promotion and recognition of engineering excellence. So those are our main functions. I've talked about the organization of the institution. So we have our headquarters at Roman Ridge, where I'm sitting at the moment. and talking to you. It's number 13 Roman Ridge. That is more of our, we call it a secretariat, but it's our headquarters. Then geographically, we have about 7 branches. And we can have more branches. The Constitution allows us to have more branches. So Greater Accra is one of the branch. We call it the branch 4. Ashanti region is a branch. The 5 northern regions, plus actually Upper West is also a branch on its own. And so it's not generally based on the regions, but depending on the geographical location. Then we have chapters under the branches. So we have typically student chapters, and then some organization, depending on, for example, ECG, we have a chapter within ECG. Of course, there are constitutional requirements for the chapter. So if you meet it, normally branches form. Sometimes, for example, in Greater Accra, Tema, we have a chapter in Tema. So depending on the nature and the complexity of the branch, sub-chapters can be formed. Then I talked about technical division. I listed the 4 technical divisions that we deal with. The chemical, mining, civil, electrical, electronic, mechanical, grid, marine, and I said that, well, we can always have more. I've already talked about the occupational groups, and then the firms and other entities, including universities, that we also register. So who is a member of our institution? Well, you are either an engineering practitioner, you can be a trainee, you can be a student, or we also register temporary members of any of the occupational group. Then you are a member of our institution. But I said to be a full member, well, you should either you should either be a member or a senior member or a fellow. So for each and every occupational group, we have senior members, we have members, we have trainee members and student members. And beside that, for the professional engineers group, they have fellows. So it's only the professional engineers group that you can become a fellow. In the others, you can reach a senior member. Then we also have the honorary class. Generally, these are people who do not have the educational requirements but have contributed significantly towards engineering. So those are honorary fellows and companion members. So they are people who may not have the academic qualification, but they may have contributed in diverse way, and the council recognizes that and then may bestow that fellowship onto them. We'll have titles. So depending on the class of member, or depending on your class, there are titles that you use. So FGHI means you're a fellow. Then SPGHI means you're a senior professional engineer or senior professional technologist, and the rest goes on. So companion, CM, GHI. So these are normally titles that we use. Now, it's those who belong to the professional engineers group who can use ING before their names. So for the professional engineer groups, they can use the ING before their names. Okay. Well, at the moment, the council is that we talked about, which is the governing body. It's made up of the president, the immediate past president. So we always have a continuum. When you become a president, you leave, you are still part of the council for a period of 2 years. Then we have a president-elect. Then we have the vice president. Then an executive representative for the 4 occupational groups. For each occupational groups has an executive representative. Then we have what we call the national councillors representing the various occupational groups. Chairpersons of technical divisions, branches. So every branch has a branch chair. Then the entities, the professional entities, that's the manufacturing and the universities and all those things also have representative. Then our past president are as official members of council. They can always come in. Then a rep from affiliated engineering university or organization, some normally could be co-opted. Then the executive director, who is actually the head of the secretariat, is also part of the council, but he does not have a vote. He or she does not have a vote. So as we speak, these are current members of council. I'm not going to go through. The presentation will be made available to you, and then you sometimes as part of the examination, they will want to ask who is maybe your branch, depending on your branch. But the current president is Engineer Kwabena Gyimah Ampong. The immediate past president is Engineer Reverend Professor Charles Enuma Adams. And the president-elect Engineer Ludwig Anand Hesse, who by the end of March this year will be taking over as the president. The current term, which is the 2023-2025, is coming to an end. The vice president is Engineer Sobaya Tijani, and I am currently the executive representative for professional engineers. And the rest will continue. Now the council, beyond the council, there is the executive committee, who are in principle responsible for the day-to-day running of our institution. The council typically meets sometimes once in 2 months or once in 3 months. Depending on the exigency, we may meet monthly, but for the day-to-day activities of the institution, the executive committee, made up of the president, the immediate past president, the president-elect, the vice president, and the executive representative of the occupational group, and the executive director. So I'm part of the executive committee. But we work through committees within the council. So we have various committees, but there are 7 standing committees of council, which is the finance committee, the conference and programs committee, the welfare, publication, professional practice and ethics, education and training, and membership committee. So I am the chair of the membership committee, and as you know, you are coming through as full members through the work of the committee for membership. But when you join, there are so many. We all have other ad hoc committees and so many committees within council that help to deal with various other functions of our institution. Okay, so we also have the Code of Ethics and Disciplinary Procedures, basically to ensure that while engineering practice conforms to established technical and environmental and safety standard. So it's online at the moment, and our Code of Ethics is online, and I will entreat each and every one of you to have a look at it. I'm not going to go through the entire Code of Ethics, but basically engineering should be practiced ethically, irrespective of where you find yourself. Well, someone will ask, where do we get our power from? Do we have the power to sanction? Are we backed by law? Although we've been operating since 1968 as an institution, it was in 2011, actually 31st May 2011, that we got a law through the Engineering Council Act 819. That's basically established the Engineering Council, and we are one of the what we call the professional bodies that help regulate engineering under the Engineering Council Act 819. And if you look at the objective of the council and the function, it's basically the same as what is stipulated in our constitution that I read earlier on. So the Engineering Council, we act on their behalf to do all the things that we do. I'll not repeat that, but to operationalize the act, the LI 2410 was passed in 2020. So you can even say that since 2011, it took us almost another 10 years, let's say, 9 years, but almost another 10 years for us to get the LI for engineering practice to be properly regulated in the country. Well, so the first part is more of an exposition to our institution. I mean, there are more, but I will encourage each and every one of you to go to our website and read and get a prize with our activities. But beyond that, I'm going to talk about how do you become a member, the route to membership. So generally, we've talked about the occupational group, but if you want to become a professional engineer, the basic qualification is that you should have a degree, a bachelor degree from an accredited university in engineering or equivalent. So Bachelor of Technology is an equivalent and the rest. Now, when you do that, you first apply, and the application form is also online, and you submit it to the secretariat. We'll review if you meet the basic requirement of having the degree, and we'll check from the Ghana accreditation, GTEC, tertiary education, and its council. And when we check and everything is true, then we will issue you a trainee professional engineer. Generally, if you have 3 years of experience, post-qualification experience, post-qualification engineering experience, then you can apply to write the examination. The professional examination is made up of 3 components. I'll go into the detail, mainly presentation, an interview, and a written exams, i.e. more of an essay type of exams. Now, if you pass the examination, then we will issue you with a license as a professional engineer. The Constitution gives us that after 10 years of practice, you can apply as a senior professional engineer. And then subsequently, depending on other factors, the council, after 2 years, you are qualified to apply for fellow. Now, there are other ways to which you can also become a professional engineer. Maybe if you're a professional engineering technologist, I'll talk about that, or professional engineering technician, and now you get your degree, then we waive off maybe 1 year, and basically you need 2 years of experience now, post-degree. And then out of that 2 years, 1 year should be in a position of responsibility, and then you write the exams. So that's the other option that you can take to become a professional engineer. I think the rest is the same. Then there may be some who have want to apply through the professional engineering technologies. That's the second category of occupational groups that I talked about. In that case, the minimum requirement is that you should have an HND in engineering or equivalent, once again, from an approved accredited university or a tertiary institution. When you apply as a trainee professional engineering technologist. And once again, you need 3 years of post-qualification experience. One of that should be in a position of responsibility. And you write the same examination. And then if you pass, you become a professional engineering technologist. And after 10 years, you can apply as a senior professional engineering technologist. Another way to become a professional engineering technologist is that if you are a senior engineering technician or an engineering technician, and you now gain the academic qualification, then you now need only 2 years, but 1 year should be in a position of responsibility. And then you write the same examination. So let's go to the engineering technician. So for an engineering technician, the academic aspect of the qualification that you need is a technician diploma in engineering or an equivalent from, once again, an accredited tertiary institution. And then you apply. We review if you are okay, then you become a training engineering technician. You need, once again, 3 years of experience. You don't need to be in a position of responsibility. And then you apply for the examination. Once again, it's still the same 3-tier examination. And then if you pass, you become an engineering technician. And after 10 years, you can become a senior engineering technician. Another way that you can become an engineering technician is that if you're a craftsman or a master craftsman, and you get the culvert certificate, I think 2, if I get it right, then you get in a position of responsibility. Basically, the 3 years is waived to 2 years. And then you can write the exams. You can also become an engineering technician. Then the last but not the least, or let me say the last but one for now, the engineering craftsman, the requirement is that you have the national proficiency 2, and you apply, but you need 4 years of experience. You do not write any examination. And if you meet the 4 years of experience, you apply again. We assess and you are okay. Then you become an engineering craftsman. After 10 years, you can become a master craftsman. Well, you can also come through the matured candidate route. So in the matured candidate route, well, generally for the professional engineers and the professional engineering technologists, you need to be 40 years of age and above. So that's the first, so your age, and that, but you meet all the academic and you meet all the experiential requirements, but you do not have the academic qualification, but you've been practicing engineering. In that case, you normally will come and we basically do more like a thesis. We will let you write a technical paper just to test your academic engineering acumen. And then if you pass, we can admit you. If you are a craftsman or a technician, you should be 35 years and above, and you can go through the matured route. And so in the matured route, the emphasis is on experience, but the examination also tries to get the theory behind the experience that we have, and that's what we do for the matured route. So that gives, what I've done is just the various ways that you can become a member. The Constitution, I think in Article 6, gives a lot of details on how you can become a member. Let me be quick to say that the council has the power to waive some of the requirements. So on some exceptional circumstances, the council may waive the requirements for certain people. So let's go through the application processes. I think the first thing you need to do is to do your career reports. So it's just a report telling us about your engineering career. So I'm going to give you basically the various sections that we need. We need a cover page that contains the things that I've talked about: your name, your GHIE number, and at this stage, you would have been given a GHIE number, your address, your phone number, your email address, and then your technical area of focus. I'll talk about that. So, for example, if you're an electrical engineer, and you work in ECG, and so you want to be examined maybe on transmission systems or whatever, or you want to, you work in Siemens and you want to be done to be examined on maybe electronics, or you are a mechanical engineer and you only deal with auto mechanics. So that's the area that you want to be, or you deal with renewable energy. So that is the technical area of course, basically what we've been practicing. And the examination will be tailored towards that area for you. Then between that, you need to enter, give your personal or bio data. Your educational background should be in your career report. Your professional affiliation, if any. The details of your career. Basically, it shouldn't be more than 3,000 words. But typically, we want 2,500 to 3,000 words. Then, if you are not taking any continuous professional development, i.e. any training over the 3 years that I talked about. So in that order, you would list that maybe I attended this course over here, I attended this course, either with the institution or in your organization or outside or whatever, or you did some through this online MOOCs. You just have to state them in terms of, because we believe continuous professional development is key for our engineering career. Then, in giving us the details of your experience, so the career report should also contain the details of your experience, i.e., we want the organization that you work in and the structure of the organization, where within the structure where you are placed, and then you give us, can you please mute Peter? Janwo Peter, can you please mute your microphone so that so you give us your personal engagement. So I work with the maybe Ghana Highway Authority, but I work in the material section, and within the material section, maybe I'm in the aggregate lab, and within the aggregate lab, this is what I do. Those are the details that we want, and that's what we are going to examine you on. So you work with the ECG, but maybe you are in charge of maybe transformers, and maybe within that transformer unit, you deal with transformer rewinding. That's the details that we want, and there is basically your responsibility, your relationship with other within the organization, others within the And if you've done any research, so those in academic world, if you've done any research, publications or patents, you state them. And details of important designs that you've done, you should also state them. And then any other activities, to the extent that maybe you've used certain goals, health and safety, all those things should be part of your career report. Basically the extent to which we've used them. Then you should also give us the challenges. So when you were working in the, for example, in the transformer or units, these are the challenges and the lessons that you learned from one organization to the other. At the moment, for the examination, we are having an online application and the link is there. Now, to apply for the exams, you should have been given a GHIE number. Now, to be able to get a GHIE number, you should have applied as a training professional, either engineer or technician, technologist or technician before. So if you are not a TPE, you cannot proceed with the online application for the examination. So quickly go online, get the forms, fill it, and submit it to the secretariat. And then you can now go online, because the system requires that you enter your GHIE number. So the system that we are using currently is, the link is there. And I'm going to quickly go through it. It's straightforward, the application process, the online feedback. But basically, before you fill, the information you actually gave in your original application should be ready. Your personal bio detail, your occupational groups. So whether you're applying for TPE, TPET, basically training professional technologist or technician, or basically the occupational group that you belong to. Then your educational background, you should upload your photo, and then you also upload your school certificates, and of course the career report that I talked about. So we will send you corresponding when that is done. Now, let me go forward. So generally, that is how the form look like. You enter your name, your nationality, gender, phone number. You go to next. So these details will be entered, and basic information, the schools. We've all, some of them, for example, the schools that we've uploaded almost all the schools in Ghana. If it's not there, it gives you the option to type there. Generally, we've uploaded, and you can contact the secretariat if your school, even outside, wanted some of the foreign schools within the system, and then the year of completion. Then your profile picture is there, then the school certificates, right? So that is the online application system. When you are done, it will, and it's accepted, they will ask you to pay for the examination. And that is also done online using our online platforms. We'll talk about that at the end of the day. So I think I've gone through that. So normally this is how it starts. The GHIE number, and then the token will be sent to you on your phone, and then you can proceed. So if you do not have the GHIE number, you cannot apply. That's the main point that I just want to talk about. I think I've already gone through this process. It's just filling the data, showing you the processes that, for example, the continuous professional examination, development, the courses that you've attended, the dates, all those things will be filled in over here. Then the payments that I talked about, you enter the code, you pay, and we have the Momo platform or available. you can also come to the secretariat and pay if you don't like to pay any e-levy. So that's the application process. And so when you apply, normally the membership committee will, we have designated persons. They will review your application. We call it screening. They will check whether, first of all, we'll verify every information. And so that also takes us some time because we have to go to GTEC. We have to sometimes, those of you with foreign education, we have to contact the university, we have to contact GTEC and a whole lot of other things. Sometimes we are not clear about the content of the course. We may even request for your transcripts. So we do those screening. We also verify your experience from either the people you recommended, i.e. your supervisors. And if we are certified, then we go ahead and say that you are qualified for the examination, and you'll be notified through an email that you are qualified. And I'll give you the timelines. Then you can sit for the professional exams. So I've talked about the professional exams initially, but let's go into, we have 4 main professional exams, mainly based on the technical divisions. So we have the CP, I've taught civil, the MEPI, mechanical Greek, then the EP, electrical electronic, then the CHEPI, which is the chemical mining professional examination. So for now, we do it 3 times in a year. We have mainly the March, April, July, August, then October, November. I believe most of you who have joined online are looking forward to the March, April examination, but we'll have the opportunity for the July, August, then the October, November examination. Beyond that, we do special examination based on demand, either institutional, regional. Some regions come for requests for special examination. Then generally, the examination is made up of 3 components. I'll talk about that, but the oral and the technical review are done by a panel of members, full members, professional engineers, or professional technicians, or technologists, mainly made up of 3 to 5, no more than 5, who will assess you. I think we've talked about that. Now, for the current examination, today is the pre-exams workshop. This evening, we will open the portal, especially for those who are already having their membership, TPE, and all those things ready. You can go ahead and apply for the examination. We have up to the 7th of February. So if you don't have, then you can apply for the membership. If you meet the requirements, then you can go ahead. Then we write the written exams is done in Accra and also at the branches. So in Accra, we'll be doing it from March 3rd to March 14th. So this is the whole idea is that within this period, you can come at any time to the secretariat to write the exams. The branches will do it on the 4th of April, one day. It's online, and you go to the examination centers based on your branch and just do it there. Then on the 12th to 26th of April, we'll do actually 12 and 26, we'll do the oral and the technical review. They are done together virtually at the comfort of your homes. And the rest of the examination schedule are shown. The July, August, and then the October, November. I think these flyers have been sent out. Let me just be quick. Madam Aisha will later come in and talk about the examination fee, but the links and everything are shown on the flyer, and then the examination fee is also 1,000 cedis. Now, the examination, as I said, is made up of 3 components. We have the technical review, which is a brief presentation on a specific project, activity, or process. I'll go on to which forms 40%. The general interview, which is based on your career report that I talked about, which is 30%. Then the essay, which is mainly focusing on engineering society. So it's not geared towards any specific discipline, but any engineer, whether irrespective of your technical division, should be able to answer that question, forms 30%. Generally, to pass our examination, you need 50% in the 3 categories. However, if you fail the technical review, you've automatically failed the entire examination, irrespective of the score that you get in general and the essay. So we've had situation where the total score of someone is 60%, but the person got, let me say, 18% in the technical review. And because of that, the person failed the entire exams. Although they did very well in the oral, that's the general interview, and the essay. But because 18% is less than half of the technical review, the person fails that. If you fail only the general interview, you'll be required to rewrite the general interview only. If you fail the essay only, you'll be required to rewrite the essay only. If you fail both the essay and the general interview, both of them, actually, you will have to rewrite the examination. So those details have been given there. So let me also be quick. Now, if you fail the examination and you are going to rewrite, you pay because of the way we are administering, you pay for the receipts. So let's start with the technical review. Now, with the technical review, so if you have any question, you hold on at the end of the presentation, we'll have the time for us to deal with questions, but you can type your questions also. I'll look at them at the end of the presentation. I'm almost done anyway. So for the technical review, we are saying that you do a 10-minute presentation. Let me rather emphasize it well. 10 minutes PowerPoint presentation on a specific project, activity, task, process or task that you have undertaken within that 3 years or within your period that you think are technical enough. So let me, some people feel because, for example, they come and they said, oh, they were on the rehabilitation of the Ghana airports. Then they will do a presentation of the Ghana airports. And they constructed the West Wing, they did this, they did that. And you don't know, maybe the person is a mechanical engineer or even a civil engineer. They don't present the technical thing that they did. If you give us project overview, it's not a technical review. So that's why we want you to, so if, for example, you were involved in the asphalt mix design for the airport construction or whatever, or drainage design for the airport, yes, you can give us a minute overview of the airport design, then concentrate on the engineering of the drainage, because we want you to talk about the technical aspect. So if it's you are an electrical engineer, and show us the flux calculations, maybe transmission, the energy losses, do that. That is the technical for that 10 minutes, if that was what you were involved in. If you are dealing with renewable energy and you need to explain some photoelectric cells and whatever, and how you arrange it, those technical details, that's what they need for the technical review, but it should be 10 minutes PowerPoint. So you can look at it more as your what they call the elevator speech within a short period, within an elevator. How do you convince them that for the past 3 years, you've done something unique? And that's why we put emphasis on it. And we say that that should score 40%. Now, the general interview, it's mainly based on your career report. So the things you wrote in your career report, they will be reading them, and then they'll be asking you questions on them. So you worked in VRA. After that, you move to a private consult. Then you move to this. So those things. But now, when you were in VRA, what did you do? They will then be asking you those questions. Okay. And the questions will generally be on either the planning, whether you were in planning, you were in design, construction, installation, manufacturing, production, whatever. The activities that you were involved in, but they want to test your general knowledge and understanding of whether you understand the standards that you use, the codes. Not just your boss said you should do this, but whether you understood at the time or you still understand the principles behind what you did. And of course, they will typically ask you questions on health and safety and environment. And of course, the experts within the engineers who are into health and safety. So that could be their main focus area. Then your understanding of code, of ethics, of GHIE, which I already referred to you earlier on that you should do well as much as possible to read through, and your general relation between the engineer and the society. And obviously, they will typically ask you questions about current affairs. I recall a situation when someone said he did not understand why they asked him a question, current affairs, and it was political. At least as an engineer, you should know what is happening in the country. So now they are doing ministerial nominees. So assuming you were doing the examination and they said, oh, who is the minister designate for maybe agriculture? And you say you don't know on that Saturday, that means you did not read what happened, for example, yesterday. So these are things that as an engineer, we expect you to know. So generally, the oral, or what we call it, oral interview, the general interview, the grading out of the 30, they will look at your communication skills, the career report that you submitted, whether you followed the code. So the presentation, the content, the grammar, that forms in total 10%. Your communication skills forms 25%. Then your knowledge of the work itself forms 65%. So they will aggregate or score it out of 100 and take 30% of that. Then, and that typically, let me emphasize that typically takes no more than 30 minutes. Remember, you do a presentation for 10 minutes. They may ask you questions for another 10 minutes. That's 20. Then this will also take about 30 minutes. So typically the interview will last for an hour. There are some situations that they are not getting the right answer, so it may extend to about an hour and a half, but it doesn't go beyond an hour and a half. Then the last part of the examination that I need to talk about is the written examination, which I said is an engineer in society. So we will randomly, we have some question bank. We will randomly give you 6 questions, and you are supposed to choose one, but they are random. So the person sitting by you will get another set of 6, and then they will choose one. But the whole idea is that, as I said, it's engineering society. Anyone, it is not for civil, it's not for electrical, it's not for mechanical or whatever. But you are expected to use your experience either in your field or general knowledge in engineering. But we want you to we are testing your ability to write clearly and concisely, understanding of the role of engineering society, and we sometimes test your management, understanding of management and leadership. As I said, that is also 30%, but in terms of the structure, the 30%, we will normally look at the general layout, the sequence and the logic, the use of English, basically, in terms of structure. Then we'll look at the 30, that forms 30%. Then we'll look at the subject treatment, that forms 70%. Did you understand the question? If you contributed some nice ideas. So we want you to think outside the box, and also your personal experience also plays an important role. So let's look at some typical questions. So there are so many questions. I'm just randomly picking 1 or 2 questions for us to look at. You can look at some of them, but we just had a change of government and energy has become an issue. So let me look at the last one. Prescribe solutions for addressing the deficit of electrical energy in Ghana, considering alternative sources of power production. Or someone will be quick to say that this is more electrical. The electrical people will have an advantage. But if you're a civil engineer or if you are a chemical, mechanical, you should be able to answer these questions, because these are issues we hear about, we read about in papers and all those things. But let me go to the next page. Let me look at, let's look at this. It says, discuss the role the Environmental Protection Agency, Minerals Commission, engineers, chiefs, security agencies, opinion leaders, and I think I'm missing this, civil society, as well as the media, etc., should play in the fight against illegal mining operations in the country. I mean, this is a topic that has been in the news for a very long period. So you should so here we looked at to discuss, but I wanted something on an argument. So there are some questions that you need to be a little argumentative. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. So yeah, so let's pick the first one here. Water. This water will be a scarce resource in the future, and we must protect our water resources. Write a speech. So here, the focus is speech writing. So the way you structure it is different from others. Write a speech to be presented at a forum to celebrate World Water Day. So here the focus is on speech writing. So these are some of the questions that, and normally we look at topical issues. So in your examination, hopefully in March and April that I talked about, you will notice that some of the questions may be things that happened early this year. And some could even be global but related to Ghana. So I remember when this, at the peak of this Russia and Ukraine, we brought some question that is on Russia and Ukraine, but how its effect on Ghana. But then you should be able to understand that. So we have a team that sets these questions, and we will revise and put more of such questions online. for you. But just practice and just be open to, let me say, the media. Most of them, we get it based on our own reading and things that we think are relevant also for our practice. So if you're able to write the exams, we've gone through the details of the examination. And you, after that, so what we promise is that within 3 months, the results will be released. And I'll explain the reason why we say 3 months. So after you write the exams, the membership committee now takes charge. The panel, the people who interviewed you will create the written examination. On the day of the examination, they will typically give your score for the oral and the technical. So that is gotten in the system the day of the examination. But they will now need to go back and grade the written examination. And when they grade the written examination, they compile. Sometimes there are much discrepancies. So we need to ensure that we meet the examiners to explain why for the same candidate, someone marks and gives 60 and another person gives 90. Then we'll do those moderations. And the membership committee, after we've done that, we sit down, review, and when we are satisfied, we present it to council. So remember I said council meets about sometimes every 2 months or every month. Also, depending on when we meet, and the membership committee also meets monthly. Depending on when we meet, first they should be ready. They should finish marking. Then the membership committee will meet, will review. If there are issues, we resolve. Then we submit to council. Then when council approves, we administratively have to write letters to every person who did not go through. And then first, and then release the results for those who have passed. And so that's the process that we go through after the council approves. We publish the results for 30 days on the website. And those, the reason for the publication is if you want to challenge, you formally challenge. And those who have been admitted will also use that 30 days to prepare them for induction. And then we go for induction. So because we are doing it 3 examinations, generally we have 3 inductions in a year. And mainly you take the engineer's oath as an inductee. Your membership certificate is awarded. And before the induction, you are notified, you pay the induction fees, you send your photographs, and then we have this grand ceremony where we show to the world that you have become a member. So in principle, this would have been the end of my presentation, but I just want to emphasize on a few things because of the experience for the past 1 to 2 years that we've gotten from administering the current examination system. One of the things we've noticed, and some of them have been so obvious, is that some people try to cheat. How do they cheat? They bring hide phones, and it's unethical. They are able to find ways and means to go online, to use AI to edit their essays for them and all those things. we've improved our system, and now we've included AI portraying. And also, as part of the examination, for the written, you are videoed. So current instance is the person passed, and so our system did not initially detect that. So the person actually passed, and but the examiner, I think, made a comment that it was too good to be true, because the examiner did not believe that the AI this thing. So we sent it to the AI proctoring. It came out that the person was cheating. Then we activated, because we got a list of people, and then we watched the video. And because the video, everything, the screen recordings were all there, it's clear that those people cheated. And so their results are going to be annulled. They will be saying professional practice is dealing with that and all those things. So I just want to say that now we are doing AI pro-train and all those things in our examinations. But this is a professional exam, and it's only to say examine whether apart from your academic listing, you've gained the necessary experience over the period as a professional engineer. So I don't think we should even be thinking of cheating in a professional examination, because when engineers are unethical, a lot of people get destroyed. But these things are happening. That's why we are investing a lot of money and time in this. But I hope your group, nothing of that sort happen. The cameras will be on, all those things will be on. But I want to end by saying that I wish you all the best, and we look forward. Now, if you have any questions, the secretariat is there. I'm there. Contact us, mainly via email. I prefer email than phone calls. And we will respond. And we look forward to each and every one of you becoming part of our noble institution. On that note, I want to say thank you and wish you all the best. I'll go to the question sections. If there are any questions, I'm available to answer those questions. So what we'll do is we will use the razor. I've seen some questions in the chat box. So let me glance through, and then after that, I'll call Sifa and the rest. Okay, so. Okay, so these were the earlier greetings, everyone. Okay. Okay, so I think Justice comes in. Hello, sir. Please, can the forms be submitted only at the headquarters, or they are at the... Oh, no. So you can actually, you don't need to submit it at the headquarters. You can send it to the branch, but you can email them. You can scan and email them to the secretariat. Madam Aisha will give you all those details. But even when you go online, all those details are there.
Yeah.
Now, our question. Yeah, so I could say, I think
so is the Eventify
hello, Evelyn.
under
Evelyn. Hello, Evelyn. If you want to ask a question, just you mute yourself, raise your hand, use the raise hand button. I'll call you at the appropriate time. Okay. So, Akwesi Dupoku talked about the elaborate briefly on the structure of the career report and the technical review. So I think if you look at the structure of the career report, is there mainly giving your bio details, what should be in the cover page. So just go over, and that will be there. Do we put a sample online? Okay. Yes, we can share a couple of career reports online. These are not anything that we should hide. So we can share a couple with you, either online, so that people can have a look at them. Then Obin, so I'll pick Obin. Good evening, engineer, doctor. I am Obin with GHITP, registered last year. I wasn't informed of the location and the time of the exam. I missed the written. Okay, so this is additionally on the third day of the I wasn't notified. Okay, so okay, but nothing was known about it. Okay, so Mr. Bin, you have a peculiar issue. This is unfortunate, but can you send me this so that I personally, can you, let me, madam, if you can write this now. He says his TP number is 15109. 15109. Open. So 15109 is a TP. Basically, he was not contacted. But Oben, can you do me a favor? Send me an email with this information so that I will pbkoe@gmail.com. We will escalate it and find whatever. But sorry for that you were not contacted.
All right, Doc. Please, could you repeat the email address for me, Doc?
It's on the presentation, but it's pabkoe@gmail.com.
Okay, sir.
All right. Yeah, so Ray, Carol Ray, I think, yes, sorry, thank you for that question. It's something I needed to emphasize. So if you are not in the country and you are out of the country, nothing prevents you from doing the examination. As I said, the technical and the oral review are done online. So irrespective of where you are, I think you can do it. The only problem is the written exams, because the written exams at the moment needs to be invigilated. So if you're outside the country, the procedure we've adopted so far, and for those of you who are outside the country, we do written exams. How do we call it? Manual written exams. So let me use an example. Assuming you are in Liberia, so you'll find an examination center, but that is your responsibility. Normally, either the British Council or some universities, you'll find an examination council center. You inform us about the examination center. Then we write to them. You will not write to them. We'll write to them. We'll get a contact person, write to that examination center, and give a date. Then they'll give us a time. That day and time, when you are ready, we will send the question there. And then they will administer the exams and scan your written exams to us. So those outside, that is the extra burden you have to, because we don't know every country where the examination centers are. So that is apart from that, the oral, you can do it. And we've done that to a lot of people. Okay, let me take two more from the those in the text box, chat box. Then I'll go to those who have raised their hand. So let's go to M. M, I don't know your name, but I have a BSc Materials Engineering and I'm focused in corrosion control. Given that materials is not, oh, no. Okay, so materials engineering, yes, it's not bad. based on this. So, for example, depending on where you are into corrosion control, you can either go under mechanical, and we will get mechanical people who have good knowledge in corrosion control, or even sometimes chemical, and they can examine you. And we hope your numbers will increase and you will form your own technical division, Mr. or Mrs. M. Yeah, iPhone, can we please get the slides? Yes, the recordings will be made available, I think, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, by the next few days.
Days, okay. They will make it available online, and you can have them. Okay. So how do I present my career report? I think Richmond, I talked about it. So I'll stop at Richmond and get back to those online. So those who have raised their hands. So I'll start with Ken Silva. Ken Silva, you have the floor.
Yeah, Doc, please, I have two questions. Can I go ahead and ask the two?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, please. My first question is that in your presentation, you spoke about the fact that there will be Accra written exam and there will be a branch exam itself. Yeah, so are they done separately, or is an option whether you choose to go by the branch exam or you choose the Accra written?
Very good. Go ahead with the second one.
Okay, the second one is that with respect to the presentation about our project, for me, I'm at the chemical and then the mining division, but then I have over 15 years of experience working as an engineer. But then currently, I've risen to directorship.
Yes.
So in case I'm presenting about my project, is it that I should present it that relates to chemical or mining, or I can choose any engineering division to present about?
All right.
Because I've done so many projects.
All right. So let me be quick. Engineer Ken, let me be quick. Let me rather answer your second question. I'll come to the first. So I did not talk about that earlier on. So I said the council has the right to waive certain requirements for the examination. So we are conscious of the fact that there are engineers who, for one reason or the other, maybe they graduated some 20 years or 15 years ago, practiced for so many years, 18, 20, 25 years, but they have not registered as with the professional body, but now wants to join. Now, for such engineers, they may not need to go through this examination, and the requirement is that such people, those who have 15 years of experience and above, engineering experience and above, we go through what we call confirmation hearing. So from just your presentation, I have a feeling you belong to the confirmation hearing category. So here we are not really examining you on rating and all those things. We will have a special interview for you. So Engineer Kenteva, please, I think that's where you belong. Am I right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Then what you do is send your CV to the secretariat. Your CV to the secretariat. Actually, copy me, because we are going to do some confirmation hearing exams very soon. Then we can add you to the confirmation hearing. If you can do that within the next 2 days, it will be great.
Okay.
So you don't, so that means I'm not answering your first question, but basically you don't need to worry about the presentation, the technical review here. So what we'll do is we'll get experts within your field and they will do some, typically an hour interview for you. That's, I think, where you belong.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
Madam Aisha will come and give all those details of email and all those things. So if you can lower your hand so that I can go to the next person, Engineer Ken. So the next person is Engineer Daniel Delali. As your ho. You have the floor. Engineer Delali, you have the floor. We cannot hear you, or well, I cannot hear you. Hello. If Infinix X838 36, sorry, can hear me, then you have the floor. Engineer Daniel, if you can check again and come back. Infinix S6836, you have the floor. Introduce yourself and go ahead and speak, please. Infinix. Okay. Engineer Ebenezer K. Sapon, please, you have the floor. Hello.
Okay, hello.
Yeah, yes, engineer, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, okay. Last 2 years, I registered. I have written the exams. I've gone through the process to the interview, and then after that, I think I didn't go through the result that came. I wasn't part. Now, from now, where do I stand? Start again.
So you have to rewrite the exam. So you go through the same application process for the exams. So you're already a member, you're a TP, you have a number. So the link that is shown, you just go on, click on it, enter your number, you'll be given a token because we already have your phone number. You'll be given a token, then you pay for the examination.
So I don't need to write the career reports and those kind of things again.
No, you have your career report already because you have to update your career reports. Between the time and now, you would have to gain some more experience. Am I right?
Yes.
So you update your career report and upload it.
Okay. My second question is also, I have 2 backgrounds. I have worked about 15 years now. I have a background in electricals. I started with part 3, and then diverted to do civil.
Okay, I remember you.
You remember me, eh?
Yes.
No. But now I also done a top up for the part 3, for the electrical, so I have double. And now mine case that I have this about 15 years experience. But the electrical is about, let's say, is about 10 years, and then for the civil side, since I jumped into civil, it's about 4 years now.
Yeah.
Do
So
I have
what are you doing?
Now I'm doing facility management for the past for facility and projects for
so you are are you more into civil or electrical?
For this, no, now I'm not into electrical much again. I'm into the civil, that's projects and then facility.
Yes, so that's what you are going to be examining on.
Okay.
Yes, that's what you are going to examine on. So you should indicate So the examination, we don't force it on you because you meet the civil requirement. So just indicate at the back of your career report. And even when you are applying the technical division, choose civil technical division.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Professor.
Welcome. And so if you don't mind, you can lower your hand. Is Infinis X836 still ready? If not, then I'll pass it over to Engineer Emmanuel Edu Jr. Ima, you can go ahead. Ima, you can go ahead.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah, you can proceed.
Thank you. Please, I'm working in Ghana Water.
Okay.
Okay, and in my case, I've worked for 12 years at production before acquiring my HND and proceed with BSc.
Okay, great.
So I want to find out, but currently I'm not in production, I'm at distribution.
Okay.
Now. So I want to find out if I'm going to write my career report, which I'm going to include all the 2 sessions.
Yes. Yes.
Will my experience come, and then is the 2 years after the TP, the plus 1 year, was it after the BEC or after my experience?
Okay, hold on.
Thank you.
So let me get it so that right. So you are at Ghana Water.
Yeah.
You were initially at production, am I right?
Yes, sir.
But you did not have your BSc, am I right?
No.
Okay. Then when did you get your BSc?
So I got my BSc last year.
Last year, very good.
Yeah.
So it's after last year that the experience that what you were working with was with an HND. So last year is now the post-qualification experience. I hope you get me. It's post-degree. So we will look at the dates of your degree and look at the experience from there. And that's where we are saying that if you have an HND, now the post-degree, we only look at 2 years instead of 3 years. So HND with your experience. So you have to wait another year. I hope you get me, Ma.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we don't look at the experience before does not matter because we're not operating with a degree.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes.
Sometimes people get this thing. Yes, you got some experience, but it was not using the degree knowledge.
Okay.
It's post-degree knowledge that but you can still enter. You don't need to enter always as a PE. From from your experience, if I were to be you, I enter as a professional engineering technologist.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you've entered as a professional engineering technologist, within a year, because you have about 10 years experience, am I right?
Yeah, almost 12 years to 13 years.
Yeah, so you can become a senior professional engineering technologist. Even before you move to the PE. So by the time you have PE, you're already a full member of the institution. You have all the requirements of this thing. Then in a year time or 2 years time, you can then apply for a PE for the upgrade.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ima.
Welcome.
Okay, so you can lower your hand. And I think it's fair. I can see Daniel and back. Daniel, you can.
Yeah, engineer, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay,
Delali,
thank
you can go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, you mentioned that when you are approved to write the exams, then you make a payment of $1,000. But I think in your slides, I saw that the portal, there's a portion that requires payment as well. Can you shed more light on that particular part?
Okay. All right. So it's after the screening. It's after the screening. So you apply. When you apply, we will normally send you a notice that you've been accepted. Thereafter, then you still go to the portal and then you can make the payments.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Most welcome. Then I will go to Theophilus. Theophilus. Paku.
Yeah, hello,
you
sir.
Have the floor. Yes.
Good evening. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sir, I wanted to concerning the question that Iman asked.
Okay.
I wanted to ask if maybe you've done HND and you have like you said, you have about maybe more than 15 experience, and you could maybe a top up. Is it started from the top up or started from the agent? Or maybe
so what I'm saying is that, so for example, I'm just repeating Ima's situation. I have HND, okay?
Yes.
Now I've worked with HND for maybe 15 years, okay?
Yeah.
I'm using the HND knowledge to work. So that experience is for HND. If I apply right now to the institution, I can apply as a professional engineering technologist. That one I'm qualified because I have all the experience requirements and I have this thing. But if maybe I go and do a BSc or BTech now, then I cannot use my past experience to claim for experience. The experience is post-qualification. I hope you get me.
Yes.
It is not pre, otherwise, what will happen is that, let me give another absurd situation. So I finished SSC, okay, go and work in a factory for 10 years. And after that, go and get my BSc. The moment I finish, then you are saying that the 10 years that I work in the factory is also experience, but it is not using degree experience. So it's the post. Do you get it? So, but we are saying that because HND is almost close to the degree, we are saying that we will waive off 1 year of the experience requirement. So when you go and get your degree now, instead of waiting for 3 years, we are saying 2 years. I hope that is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. And so you can lower your hand so that Emmanuel Achampong.
Okay, so sir, then again, so it means that you go through the same procedure, like
precisely.
Okay. Thank you.
So you're most welcome. You can lower your hand, then Emmanuel Achampong, you have the floor.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I'm Emmanuel Champong.
Yes,
please, I applied last year. I applied last year, September, and I have my number. I have my DHR number. Okay.
Yes.
Where I submitted the career report after the registration to the secretariat, but they didn't give me any confirmation message.
No.
But I'm yet to write the exam.
Yes. So if you have your number, you don't need it to submit any career report to the secretariat. The career report will be uploaded online as part of your application for examination. I hope you get it.
Okay.
That's why nobody contacted you.
Since then, because of that, while I was working last year, I stopped the work. Last year November, and now I'm working with a different company. So I want to know if I can go back and then update that report, or I should resend it again on.
No, you have to update your career report because you are doing a new application.
Okay. Okay. And also, my second question is, with the engineer technologies with HND, can you use the title engineer on your name?
No, I said it. So it's the PEs that use the. So you are still an engineer, but you don't use the ING in front of your name. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Most welcome. So you can lower your hand and then let me do 3 more and then go to those who have written. So Andy, you have the floor.
All right.
Give
Good
us your
evening.
full name and continue.
Okay. My name is Andrew Ano.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, if you're a TPE already, do you have to be in good standing to register for the exam?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Most welcome, man. Then Andrews Dasha, sorry. You have the floor, Andrews.
Good evening, Doc.
Good evening, Andrews.
Yes. So, please, my question is, you said during the examination period, you said apart from Accra, we have other branches. So I wanted to know if, like, yes, where the other branches are still. I'm currently in Sunyani right now, so I want to know if maybe there's a venue in Sunyani, or maybe you have, or Kumasi, or any place that I think is very near to me. Yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
Okay. So at every application season, we have branches that will do the exams. So it's not everyone that will do it for all the branches. I said that at the moment we have 7 branches. So we have the Ashanti region, which is in Kumasi. So Central, Western, Western North is in Takoradi. That's the examination center. So we have an examination center. Then Uti and Volta. It's in Volta region. And so that's the examination center. I've talked about Accra, which is at the headquarters secretariat over here. Then let me say 5 plus 1. 5 means the 5 northern regions. Northern regions, Savannah, Northeast, Upper East, and then the Upper West. Have I left anyone? I've talked about Savannah. So all those one, the examination center is Tamale. Then the original Bono Ahafo, which is Bono Ahafo, Bono East, is Sunyani. So we have an examination center. Actually, it's at UNE. Yeah, we do it at UNE. So it's at Sunyani. I left in Iran.
Thank you, Doc.
Yes, after yes. So those are. Then we have Eastern. Sorry, Eastern. Eastern. It keeps changing. Sometimes it's at Koforidua. Sometimes it's at Kosomo. So depending on, so you'll be given the option to choose where you want to do the examination. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Thank you
so
very much.
Let's go to FAJ. I think that I'll do that last one, then I'll go to the chat box.
All right. So, Doc, my question is about the waiver. Okay. I happen to be in that category. I have about 15, 16 years, but I'm in the category of mining. Yeah. So
yeah, that's okay.
I wanted to know if the waiver is just for the exam, or it cuts across. For example, if I register for the exam, do I do the career report, or everything is waived except the interview?
So you still do application, but you typically do your CV.
Yes.
We'll look at your CV and we'll write to you. So yes, you there. So you normally you don't apply using the system that I talked about. That's why I told I've forgotten the name, but I told him that we should he should just send his CV to the secretariat and copy and indicate that he's coming in for the confirmation hearing.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, that's so. Actually, let me be quick to say that you should also be confident because I don't give the waiver. The waiver is given by council. So I present your data, okay, based on your CV to council, and then we'll make a case based on the constitution to council. And 2/3 of council members then vote either for or against you before you are allowed to do the exams.
Okay.
The exams is the interview. So we normally use typically past presidents and people who have been in the institution for a very long time, who knows about. So for example, there are a lot of mining engineers who understand mining. So they will then interview you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank
so
you.
I will hold on to those who want to talk and quickly go through the chat box. And then I think I was at Richmond. I talked about that. So let's go to Edward. Is it Baka? 1 minute. So for the examination application, the verification, which token is required. Also, it's the token is Edward, is an automatically generated token, just some code that will be sent to your email to so that we want to make a system to your phone. We've developed a system such that if, for example, a friend knows your number, cannot just go in and fill it. So it's based on your GHIA number, then we'll send you an automatically generated code to your phone number. Then you use that code to enter. So it's more of a security feature. Then Albert Kingsley, Aide. Hello, sir. Oh, sorry. Hello, sir. I joined the meeting late. Is it possible oh yes, the recording is going to be on YouTube. Am I right? YouTube and also on the website. So they'll send it there. So it's available. Actually, all those who are here, I think you have a way of sending it. Yes. Okay. Then Eugene. Let me pop it out. So I was at Eugene Ajede. Please, can we get recorded here? So that's what I said. Julian, good evening. I submitted my career report 2 years ago. Due to one or two things, I couldn't make the payment to proceed. Okay. I'm now ready. So Julian, just go through the application, use the link and go through the application system again. Because for every examination process, it's like a new thing. So just go through the application systems again. Thank you for your interest. Then Amagashi Francis Olavi. It says, some of us are not on WhatsApp page. How do we get added?
Sent me a response and said they should send out email.
Okay. So the
Katie's branch and division.
Okay. So I think Madam Aisha has already responded to you earlier on. So then Isaac Owusu. Hello, Doc. Please, I have a BS in mechanics. So yeah. So yes, you have a BSc, so we don't call it a graduate member again. We call it training professional engineer. So if you have more than 3 years, you can write the exams. So Isaac, yes, you are a training professional engineer. Priscilla, my background is a chemical engineering, but currently practicing a safety officer, yes, which is very common. What is the professional group? So you can still be in chemical, but you're into safety. That's okay. And then you focus on the technical, the safety thing in your presentation, and that should be okay. That is your practice. So Priscilla, you can go ahead. Then Ebenezer Sapon, please can you briefly explain the career report? I joined late. So even I think I talked about that earlier on. You can actually also view the video again and then look at it. Then Andy, do you I think do you have to be in good standing? I think I've answered this question before. Yes. Bright so I registered for TP last year. I have a BSc and completion is 2023. So you need 1 more year. I think I explained it earlier on to the others. Then Emmanuel Dujuni, I think I've talked to you. I've explained the access to the WhatsApp also just right now. Then my email, I'll put it in the chat box. Okay. The Infinite, oh sorry, you couldn't speak, but I think let me read. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I appreciate that. But my question is, oh, yes, please. Okay, so Infinite, I think please send me the email. I think you can go through the confirmation hearing with your CV, not your career report, your CV, and then copy the secretariat. We will do that. Also, you replied, Aisha, reply some of them. Or this is a different Aisha. Sorry, this is a different. To apply to be TP, please send your. Okay, so Aisha send the email address membership@gmail.org.gh, and I'll send mine at the end. Okay. So that's then Zach. So I'll take Zach, and I'm almost done. Good evening, Doug. I have this message. I hope this one regarding the technical plan. I want to clarify something. I worked on a project, okay, and I'm wondering if I can focus solely on the tax. Yes. It's a tax or assignment. Yes. Zach, your understanding is perfect, but it should be technical. Daniel Abbey, how much does it cost to be a TP for the TP application? 860. Done. Okay. So later on, Aisha will talk about all the finances. Okay. Please. Okay. M is asking, can you kindly go over? Okay. So the confirmation here, and I'm saying that you have the you meet the academic qualification requirements, i.e., the basic degree or its equivalent. You've worked for 15 years or more. Maybe you are in management position at the moment. Then you send us your CV and we'll send it to council for a waiver for you. That's how, and then you go through the confirmation hearing. I hope, I think I've repeated it earlier on, so I hope that works for you. Anthony Clichy, good evening, Doc. What do you gain as a registered member who yet to ride the pro? I don't get it. What do you gain as a registered member who? Okay. All right. So I should have done the introduction. I assume that those are people who want to already join, but There are so many benefits but the most important thing is that you are actually complying with the laws of Ghana. Then Reku Samuel Jr. is asking, I'm a metallurgical engineer, a training. I work at the Ministry of my workshop. Yes, so policy does not exclude you. So that is what you do. You do with policy issues. So you can still write exams. Just indicate the policy issues that you deal with. Then Richard Tubuachi, Ghana Armed Forces. Can I apply? Yes. BS Electronic, yes. We have a lot of the military joining. Actually, last year we had a lot of you people joining. And yes. Then also Secretary. Yes, we've talked about the sample career report. We'll make them available. Ishmael, can I apply if your BSc? Yes, no. You still need some years of experience. 2022, you still need some years of experience. See what I just joined. So we talked about the version. Oh, sorry. I think Emmanuel, do some of the people I'm reading their destiny, they send it to me privately. Yes, so those of you in academia, yes, you can become based on you remember experience, we talked about it, your writings and all those things. So you can use that to join those of you in academia. And I hope I have not missed any. Yes. No, 12 years, the waiver does not apply. So yes, yes, 50. So you have to go through the normal process. John Dankwa says that BTech, I want to ask you. Yes, yes, the stated option, the area that you want to do, yes. So John, I think that is it. So I think, John Dankwa, you've risen, I think, so what I'm going to do is because of the time, we should have closed at 7. My watch is saying 7:03. So I will try and see if we can have 5 minutes for those who have raised their hand. But for most of you, if I've already answered your question through maybe a previous answer, I'll require that you lower your hand so that we don't have the same repetition. If your own is so specific to a peculiar thing, something I've not talked about, you can go ahead. Or if you want to private me through an email, I'll be very happy to answer your question. So on that note, I'll call on Amagashi Francis to proceed.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, so please.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, in your career report, what if you have a situation whereby you are working for a company, but then as an engineer, you've been contacted by some individuals and you have done some private jobs, that's your personal jobs. In writing your career report,
it's all experience. The only thing is they are all experience. You need them to verify the people you worked for. Maybe we assume that you still work under the tutelage of an experienced engineer. So if you can confirm, an experienced engineer can confirm that you gained that experience, then yes.
Okay, all right.
I hope you get me.
So what you're saying is that my references will be contacted and
precisely. So you said that maybe you did a private job somewhere else, and if I can confirm that you use me as a reference and I can confirm, then that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
John Dankwa, I think I saw your name in the chat box, but you can go ahead, John. You have the floor.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Please, I wanted to ask, last year, I applied and I submitted my report. But later I had a mail that I'm being disqualified because attaining my degree BTech, I've not worked up to the 2 years. And
Exactly.
yes, and another thing that disqualified me was the career report stating that it was not inconsistent. So, but later, before I submitted my career report I gave it to a member, a former good standing member, to go through if everything is in order. And he later said that everything is okay. So, okay.
Okay. So the point is, we'll give a sample of the career report, but normally during the screening, these are the comments the team that screens will come, and you can always write if you have any you disagree or you don't understand. We always respond on that. But I think your case, just now we resolve it. We'll put a sample there so that it becomes clearer to you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Please, I wanted to ask where can we get a sample? Through the WhatsApp?
So we'll put it online. We'll put it online.
Online.
And I think we can put it on the WhatsApp page too.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. Then Charles Ni Janikote, you have the floor.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Please, I want to find out from you. During the presentation, you mentioned the confirmation.
Yeah, the confirmation here.
Who are in managerial positions.
Yes.
And those who are above 40 plus. Let's assume I am.
No, hold on. Let me, so that we don't get it. Those who are above 40 plus is not a confirmation hearing. So let me put it, those who are above 40 plus, that's the matured route, are people who do not have the academic qualification. So let me give you an example. So there are some organizations. So for example, you go to a steel company, okay? And in the steel manufacturing company, there are people who have worked there so many years. Sometimes some of the professional engineers that come, they are the people who even train them. So they understand the engineering, they've learned it over the period, they've gotten all the experience, they even do maybe a lot of things, they may even have a patent. The only thing is they don't have the academic qualification. They are above 40. And so we ask them, we know that they have the experience, but we ask them, we now test them on the academics in principle. So they do something like a thesis. So we call it the matured route. Our confirmation hearing is different. For the confirmation hearing, you have the academic qualification, okay? But you didn't become a member. And you've worked so many years, maybe in top management. We had someone, maybe he's now maybe even 60, 70, but he did not, his practice is done it all. He wants to join. We don't want the person to go through the same rigorous examination. So for such a person, we have an interview with that person just to confirm the person.
Okay.
That's the difference. Okay, please go ahead with your question.
Okay, so let me retrace my question again. Let's assume I am 49. I have the qualification. I have worked for over 20 years. What would be my route?
Confirmation hearing.
I'll go for confirmation
hearing, yes.
All right. I'm grateful, sir.
Most
so
welcome.
Maybe your email, and then we will link up on this as well.
Yes, you can send it to the secretariat and indicate confirmation and copy me. But the reason I'm saying copy me is so that it's fast tracked. That's all.
That's it.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I'm grateful.
I'll put it at the end of this thing. Then it's in the presentation anyway, but I'll do that immediately. Ebenezer, I think he's already asked the question. Ebenezer,
Yes,
Officer.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you allow others to?
Yes, sir. I didn't get something clear. That's why I want to come back.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. You see, I said that I went through the process about 2 years ago, up to the interview level. Went through the interview, and that's the last process for confirmation. I think at the interview that didn't go. I think they told me I have to have some another experience, additional experience. That's what they told me. But so in your response, you told me I should write the exams again. I wanted to know, is it the exams or is it the interview that I have to go through again?
No, it's the entire examination.
It's the entire examination.
Yes.
So the written plus the oral.
Yes, you have to go through the entire examination.
Okay, I wanted to confirm that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome. So we can go to send me email and normal platform so Naomi. Sorry, Naomi C. Isaac. Sorry, Isaac. Not before sorry.
No, Messi Isaac.
Sorry.
All right. Good evening, sir.
Please forgive me, okay?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, Doc. Oh,
yes.
Sorry. Don't worry. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Please, food for about 10 years now. In 2023, I got my BSc. I want to find out if it is necessary for me to still wait 3 years.
Can you repeat yourself? There's a background noise.
I've been on the food for close. Sorry, where I am is very busy. I said I've been on the food for close to 10 years now. In 2019, I got my HND. Then 2023, I got my BSc. So I want to find out whether I still have to wait for the 2 years.
Exactly.
Before.
Exactly.
Okay, so it means I don't have to register for the exams.
Yes. You don't need to register. No, you don't need to register for the exams.
But I can apply for the training.
Yes, you can apply for the training. Yes, precisely.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Most welcome. I have sent my email address to the chat room now. So let's go to, I'm taking 2 more calls. Then we can close. I think Benjamin Gomado.
All right, thank you very much, Doc. Right, please, can I be heard?
Hello, please hold on. The rest of you, Ishmael and Charles, Ni Janikote, please, can you switch off your microphone? Charles, we are having a feedback from you. And John Dankwa, can you switch off your microphone? John Dankwa, can you mute? Okay, then Gomado, you can go ahead.
All right, thank you very much, Doc. Right, so please, there is a question in the chat box that I would like to maybe get a clarification on. I don't know. I've heard you address that question. Sorry if I've not. There's a question about the post experience, the calculation of the
yeah. So that is it's post qualification and that is engineering experience. So it varies from individual to individual. So let me give you an example. There are candidates that after their degree or qualification or HND or whatever, they did their national service at an engineering organization and they gained the necessary engineering skills during their national service. So their national service is part of their experience. For some, because of where they work, their national service may not be part of their post-qualification experience. So it varies. So it is the experience you've gained cumulatively. Even for some of them, because of the work challenges, so after national service, maybe for 2 years, they were not doing engineering, but maybe after 2 years, they got a job. So although they have their post-qualification years, maybe 5 years, effectively their engineering experience is only 2 years. So it depends, it varies from individual to individual. So it's not just, oh, I finished in 2000. So automatically I have 5 years of experience. So during screening, we go through those details. So the counting may vary. Some may be lucky. It may be immediately after their national service. Others may not. I hope that is clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Very well.
Okay.
Thank you very much. This is so clear.
You're welcome. All right. Then let's go to Joshua. So I'll take the last one will be Godwin. Joshua Adade. Joshua, you have the floor.
Okay, engineer, good evening.
Good evening, Joe.
Yeah, please, I want to find out. Let's say, for instance, I'm in a company and I work over 20 years.
All right.
And I'm currently in a managerial position. And I've now acquired my degree. Will I be considered for the confirmation hearing?
No, in such situation, no. It is, we are looking at post after. So no. Because the degree after is, the experience after is not, you worked, unless you want to come in, I don't know if the person, maybe they were working with an HND over that 20 years, then we'll look at the person entering as a technologist.
Okay. Thank you.
We can do confirmation here. We've done it for technologists and even technicians.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Joshua. So for the voice, the last but not the least is Godwin. Godwin, you have the floor. Godwin, you speak. All right. Yeah, Godwin, proceed. Godwin, your line is muffled. I think you are having a network challenge. You know what? I think our advice, I'm going to pause. I'll advise you write your question in the chat box so that I will pick that lastly because we can hardly hear you. Your line is, and I know where it's coming from. I think it's the network. Right. So write, and then we will answer that. So I think on that note, whilst we are waiting for Godwin to finish typing, I can come in. I want to once again hope that we will all become, majority of us will become full members. and at least all of us will become members of our institution. Hopefully within the next maximum 4 months. I've enjoyed the presentation, and we thank you all for your ears. I will hand over to Madam Aisha. I think she has one or two things to say. Madam Aisha, are you ready? And Madam Aisha, if you can hear me, can you hear me? So whilst she's joining, let me call her. I just want to confirm that the recordings will be made available through a lot of means, including your group chat. And if there are any questions, further questions, feel free. Are you ready? Yeah. Yeah. If there are any further questions, feel free to contact me. So on that note, I will hand over to Madam Aisha, who has just come to sit by me.
Engineer.
Yes.
Okay, thanks
so
so much.
This is not a question, just a very quick one. I just want to say on behalf of our